Hello students, now we are going to start with our very first chapter, Introduction to OOP Concepts. Class, in the previous PPT I have sent you some values and types how to make a program, because that was very important first to introduce you how you are going to do programming in Java. And make it sure students, it is very interesting to learn Java, because in class 9th you are going to learn something different. Before that you all were studying about Microsoft Office, Word, but not more about Java. Okay, now we are going to learn about Java, and that is very interesting for you all. So pay attention towards the PPTs, whatever I said. Now, introduction to object-oriented programming. We are going to first do what is object-oriented programming. As by its name, you can say that object-oriented means the programming which has some objects, which we are, or we can say is the when there is object, then some actions are needed. Okay, so object oriented programming is also known as OOP. In commons we will always talk it about like a OOP. This language programming language model or organized around objects rather than actions rather than logic. Okay, in this objects are for their actions, and the data whatever we used, it is for the logic, how you are going to solve the program. In in programming students, what is there that you all have to just give the logic. There's no prescribed way or formula like in maths that you have to just put this formula and you are going to solve it, but in this it is a logic that how you are going to solve it out. Okay, so most program were list of instructions that acted on a memory in the computer. Now, object-oriented programming's the most advantages is that it implements code. It implements code in the concepts of reuse and recycling, that we can use our data again, and we can recycle it also. We can use it more and more. Okay, now the definition, what is that? Or the object oriented programming is methodology that helps to organize set of instructions in proper sequence to develop a program or software. In this we have to understand that in object oriented programming students, what we do first collect our data and then organize it like that. In a simple example we will say that if you have to cover your copy, what you are going to do? So first you have you will take a tape, a cover and copy. But what will you do? First you will take a copy in your hand, then you will take a cover and scissor, and then at last at the tape. But in the first you are not going to use a tape, or for you are going to use your scissor. Okay, the way you are going to cover your copy in the systematic way and in the organized way, like that. In the object oriented programming also, it is a set of instructions in proper sequence. In proper sequence, how we are going to develop our program or software. It has been divided into two parts. First is pop and second is object oriented. POP is, we can say, it is a procedure oriented programming in which list of instructions are given and tell the computer to do something. In this, programming is baked in a task and into a collection of variables, data and subroutines. In this contains a computer's state. We can say that it is a step-by-step procedure to execute a program oriented, but it has many disadvantages. That why we are going to study about the object oriented programming. In object oriented programming students, we are first going to understand what is object. What we are going to say, what is an object? The object is a kind of entity, for example a pen, a place, a mouse, a table, a person, whatever the thing you can see, you can feel, and you can see and feel it, and you can describe it. That is, we can say, a object. In object we have three things, we can say. First is on state, off state and out of order state. In object we talk about three things: identity, state and behavior. A thing which has some identity and state and behavior. Like that, we can take a apple as example. A apple has an identity that it is a fruit. State, it is round in shape, and it is color, and it has a red color, and behavior that is used for the health. Okay. Now, what are the principles of object-oriented programming? The object-oriented programming has four principles. Okay, the first one is abstraction, second is encapsulation, third in inheritance, and fourth one is polymorphism. Okay, abstraction. First, we are going to understand the abstraction. What is abstraction, students? Just you must just only learn about what is the theory of it. Okay, what is the initial meaning of abstraction? Abstraction is the act of representing the essential features of an object without knowing the background and details is known as abstraction or data abstraction. Means the work we are going to do, it's just show, and how you are going to do what the thing are used, it is hidden. Just the act of representing essential data. We can take a simple example of television in your home. Okay, television in your home, just you see, take your remote and just on the channel. It means you have just switch on the channels and you are going to watch it. But you don't know that how many functions are going around it for your TV. So we are just only able to see the essential features of that, and the main thing is hidden in the background. Now, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation means you are very much familiar with the medicines. A capsule is also a medicine which contains combination of many medicine in the form of powder. The like that is encapsulation, we can say also a medicine in which many objects are combined with each other in a single object. We can say that the act or way of in which data and methods and functions that operate combine together in the form of single unit. Like your television is a single unit, but many data are sound, visual, and your brightness, all the things are combined with each other. So that is means encapsulation. Inheritance is beta is students the act of or process of acquiring the properties from an existing class by another class. Means when you inherit, like that, we can say that you inherit some things from your father, from your grandfather. That comes in the inheritance only. It is like that in the programming also. There is class, subclass, main class, base class, derived class. Like that you inherit a class inherits, child class inherits some things, some variables, some data from the parent class. Okay, like that we can take, see, where vehicle manufacturer, there are two types of manual or automatic. First is bicycle or rickshaw, and second is kickstart. This is the example of your inheritance. Now, polymorphism. Polymorphism, we can say that when we take one thing and we can perform many tasks with that. Okay, so the process of defining any object in many forms represented by the same name is known as polymorphism. Like that, we can take example of table. Table is that you can take it as a dining table, center table, study table, and computer table. This is your polymorphism. Now, just go on through the Java history. What is Java history? You all have learned this in the class 8th. I think all the things you all have learned in the class 8, but due to pandemic, you all have not gone through the seriously about this. But go to the Java history. Java was developed by James Gosling, okay, in USA in 1991. This Java is named by the oak tree. See, here are the years and how the development has taken place. Okay. Now, types of Java programs are there. How many types of Java programs are there? There are two types of Java programs. One is applet and second is application API application program. Applet program is the programming language that has to the HTML. Means we write this program on through the internet, and it is used with the help of HTML language. Page is known as in which it is included the page HTML hypertext language, that is your applet program. But student, whatever the program you are going to do, that is your application based. Okay, you are learning computer application. Application program, API. Okay, see, an application program is an interface, is a context in Java and collection of pre-written packages. In this you have got some packages, classes, interfaces. With the help of you are going to do the program. And in this, the standalone Java program that runs a true application without a browser. It doesn't need browser. It is in the JVM, is known as application program interface. Okay. Now, example, mobile application, web application, systematic applications. Students, in 9th, 10th, you are going to just learn about the applications, but in 11th, 12th, you are going to learn about computer science, some hardware also. Now, bytecode. What is bytecode? You all know that the computers understand only machine language, or we can say coding language. In this, all the things, all the computer things are on the bytecode, the platform independent code in which Java compiler converts Java source code into program independent code that can easily be understood and executed by the computer is known as bytecode. Now the it means computer needs, because is just understand the language byte. What is byte? 0 and 1. Okay, byte understands only 0 and 1. It is on bits. Okay, not Java needs, computer needs some translator to compile your program. That is two types of their, interpreter and compiler. Interpreter, we can say, it is the program then translate the source program or source code to machine language or low language step by step or line by line. It is known as interpreter. It convert your program line by line. It checks line by line and then give you whatever the error is come in by in to each and every line. Now see how the program is there. The figure is there. Source program, high level language, then interpreter does it step by step, and then machine language or low language. Now compiler is also a type of translator in which we can say the source program or source code to machine language or low language. In this, compiler translate the program only once. Okay, and then it goes to the result to the machine language. Compiler sees Java compilation process, how the compilation and execution of Java is done. First there is compilation, then the JVM does the execution. Okay students, these points you learn here by heart. Okay, these are very important for your notes. Now the following are the figures how Java program is compiled. See, Java first, Java program or source code. What is source code? You all must be that what is source code? Source code, the our high level language, whatever we are going to write in our language, that is source code. Then the program is compiled, Java bytecode program, then Java interpreter works, and the machine language or low level language program is there. See here the set, what is source code? The set of instructions and statement written by computer programmer using programming language to find solution of a problem is known as source code. And what is object code? The machine language program produced after the compilation of the source code is known as object code or object module or object program. Now see what are the features or characteristics of Java. See, it is very important students. Each and every point of this statement is important. In this, see, it is platform independent. It is platform independent. It can write once, run anywhere. We can write it once and we can run it anywhere in the program. Object oriented language is used. It is simple. In this, simple coding is used. User friendly environment is there. Java is robust. What is robust? The Java has feature of automatic memory management and garbage along with strong exception handling. It can check your error and give whatever the error you have run in the program, and it is also works on a secure environment. Students, I am going to give PDF of this PPT. This PPT is from your school book only. So go through it very thoroughly, and I will send question and answers and some exercises according to this chapter yours and solve it. Okay.